nigga.
I'm listening to y'all.
Nah, he on campus, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Like, all right, you say you on campus now.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, we passed that. It's third game of the season to get cleared.
Facts.
So hold on. So before you get into this part, this is when, hey, bring off your phone, nigga. This is college vibes. What's wrong with you, nigga?
Well,
this is we in Greensboro. Remember we came down with G-Ho?
Definitely.
Yeah, and he wasn't clear yet. He was like, he was talking like he was gonna get red shirted though, for sure. He was like, nah. He said, nah. If I get clear, yo, but I'm probably not.
I was supposed to be red shirt.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, cause at this point, homecoming time was like end of October, so like right when the season about to start. And I was thinking like, damn, he about to red shirt this year, nigga. We about to be coming up this bitch every week. I go home for like, cause you know college basketball, it happens quick. So maybe 2.5 weeks later, Demetrius Troy cleared. I'm like, damn, this nigga got cleared for real. Cause he got cleared early. He didn't get cleared later. I said, damn, this nigga got cleared. It's over for us.
Bro, it's crazy though, because it was unexpected to everybody.
Yeah.
Including me, including coach. Like, we had tried everything, and like I had saw him try. Like the whole time I was in summer school, I'm still like, I'm writing letters, I'm getting recommendations, I'm having phone calls, like the whole nine, trying to get it done. But it just came to a point where like the NCAA wasn't really telling us much. And then all of a sudden they released this list of like 30 kids who was gonna be cleared throughout the country, and I was on the list type shit. So I got cleared and was able to play. So
do you think they wasn't as much of a rush to get you cleared in James, or?
So everybody's case was different, so they handled it case by case. So whatever happened with James' case was something that just happened with his. Yeah. I would never know. But I know for myself, I just ended up getting cleared. But like again, I couldn't really even tell you like truly how. Like I never got an explanation like, oh, you got cleared because of this, this, and this. I just got cleared type of thing.
The only thing that doesn't make sense is, and this is to the people that work in the NCAA, if he's not eligible because he went to upper room, and he's not eligible because he went to upper room, and he's deemed eligible even though he went to upper room, he should automatically be eligible because he went to upper room.
Yeah.
Y'all just sitting there with these cases, and y'all just, no, we'll do this one later. We're doing this one right now. That doesn't make any logical sense.
But I mean, that's how we feel. You got to remember, bro, NCAA is like one of the most accused companies of like ever. Like people are mad at them every single year for their like horrible practices and their horrible regulations. Like it's just not a very well put together practice, but you can't really tell them much because they make $1 billion a year off what they do. So, you know, it's tough, but it was what it was.
$1 billion? Shit. Billions.
Yeah, probably more for sure. But it was very tough because, remind you, I came to school with bro.
Yeah.
Now I can't play my first year with bro.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm low key even telling coach like, look, I don't gotta play.
Yeah, facts.
I chill, just to make sure. And I'll tell him, bro, like, get an extra year, I'll bulk up like the whole night, bro. And he's like, nah, like we need you down. And crazy enough,
I'm thinking the same.
I'm not, and the thing is, bro, I'm not seeing it because at the time, we had Deontay Assad, we had Clay Bird, we had Tavon Sadler, Francis Alonzo, Jelani Mala. We had maybe like 6-7 guards, you know what I'm saying? Who like, that's rotation. Like, and I'm looking at the first few games like, where the fuck am I gonna fit in? Like, I ain't gonna play. Like, what you mean? Like, and Tavon Sadler, who we come into the year, like, he's probably our best player. Like, we building around him. Transfers. Leaves right before the season.
So how do you do that before the season? Mid-semester like this?
Telling me, I don't know. Like, I didn't know you could do it until he did it, type of thing. And like, it sucked because when I committed, he was one of the first people to FaceTime me like, congrats, little bro, like, you know, I'm here for you, like, really put his arms around me type of thing. He ended up transferring to Nichols, and shout out to bro, he won a ring, and he was on their coaching staff again after. Now he's embarking on a career in coaching or whatever. So still, like, good dude, worked out for him. But it was a blow to us at the time. Then we had a couple other guards. Claiborne, he had a couple of issues off the court. He ends up getting off the team. So now I'm like, okay, it might be a little something for me. So I get on the floor. Literally, like, I get cleared on Tuesday. We play Navy on Wednesday in our Thanksgiving tournament.
Damn.
And we played 3 games in a row. Like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in a row in college, bro. That's unheard of. You don't do that shit, except for, like, little tournaments like this. So we played them, and I mean, like, literally, like, right off the bench, bro, threw me in there. I'm like, what? Like, I ain't say nothing. So I get in the game, and bro, this is the funniest shit I'll ever tell, bro. I get in the game. Remind you, my last official game I played, I had 53. So I'm thinking like, I'm still a bucket. Like they can't, you know what I'm saying?
It's so different, bro. It's so different, bro.
So
I was just about to ask you about that.
I come off, I get it right. I'm the PG. Come off the little screen or whatever. First play, Trey ball. Boop. Cash. Like I'm starting off the game.
He about to think, oh
my God,
this is like early God.
Hey, bro.
Hey, leave, y'all gonna get ready. This is nothing.
Bro, I'm thinking the whole game. I'm like this, yo. Like, I'm thinking like, bro. So hear me out. I hit the tray. Instantly in my mind, oh, I'm going for 30. Like it instantly came to my brain, like, bro, you can get 30. These niggas are not good. So we go through very next possession, come down, point guard comes, boop, 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 foul on me. Shit. Okay. First play, whatever, you know, shake it off. I come back down. We run a play. We get through the offense. I get it in the corner, like just off a swing reversal. I rip baseline. I get by. Floater, charge. 2 fouls, and he's out the game.
Damn.
Just like that. Just like that. I said,
damn.
fuck. So I'm out. Rest of the first half, you know, I'm out, and I'll probably play like a minute. Then I come back second half, like literally same exact scenario. Come off the same screen, tray ball again. Like, got me another tray. Boom, come right back down, foul again. Like, not playing defense, not being ready to play. But, like, I was just teed. I scored. Like, again, our culture wasn't good. So, first few games, it was kind of like that. Me just trying to get in shape to play. Because, again, I'm working out like I got a year. Not like I need to be game shape, game ready. So, I wasn't ready to play.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I made is not being optimistic about my NCAA situation. Because had I been, I really feel like I could have made way bigger strides individually than I did. But because I wasn't ready, it almost felt like I wasted half a year getting ready for my freshman year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then by the end of my freshman year, I'm 6 man off the bench. But it's like, so what's worth? Because I could have been doing that from the beginning. It could have potentially taken over a spot a lot sooner. You know what I'm saying? So it really messed me up in that regard. So then we're losing though. Like this is like the first team that I'm on where like we're losing a lot. And like I have the best record in Word of God school history. I have never had a losing record in AAU ever. You know what I mean? Like my winning percentage was very good. Like scouts, that's like a note on Demetrius Troy. Like he's a winner. Like that's the one thing they can say about me. I ain't gonna jump to the gym, but I'm gonna win. Like, and that's something I pride myself on. So to do that, bro, I'm like depressed. Like I'm mad every other day. Like angry. I'm not rocking with the older guys. Like they're not. It's just a lot of correlation that's just not there. The coach, like the connection from the coaches to the players wasn't there. And we lose on the road to VMI. They were the last place team in the SoCon. This is conference play now. And that's like embarrassing. Like that's
Hold on. What was it like scoring 16 as a freshman against Carolina?
That was smooth. I forgot about
I was at the house going crazy when he did that. I said, yo, he's going to the league for real. He's You know, you thought the league crossed your mind.
Yeah,
freshman year,
for sure.
I said, yo,
but see,
mind you, before
my mind was everywhere though as a freshman because it was just so bad, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like the culture was so bad, and I'll even tell you the mindset because it's gonna be different later on. Freshman year, bro, I was thinking about transferring. Like that was definitely the option because I was thinking like, yes, I'm much better than the guards we have here. I can do better. I should be higher, and now that I'm eligible, I could easily just transfer to some of the high majors that was recruiting me. I had Wake Forest looking, Clemson looking. Why I can't go now? Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I was thinking at the time, but. I'm like, you know what? Let's just get through the year first. And that's what I told James. I promised him whatever. Like, let me get through the year and we'll see what's what. So we getting through, and we got to Carolina. That was smooth. I just say that's just a testament to what I said. Meek show up when he played big games. So like when I play the big teams, like I show out. I try to do my best, and that just happened to be one of them games. And that flow, the way they played, it was all ball screens. Like they all high majors compared. Like that's the difference between high major and mid major. High majors is I'm a coach and I'm gonna let my talent win. Mid majors is like my X's and O's gonna win, and my hustle and determination gonna win, and that's how we get a lot of high majors because they lose that. A lot of high majors who lose that edge on them, that's when they get to getting upset by mid majors. But the ones that can find that balance are why they're high majors and why they're usually better. So when we played Carolina, it was like open season for me. Like it was a guard's paradise because all it is going against guards. And at the time they had Joe Barry, but he was sweet. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't fearing him or nothing. So like. Coming off screens and everything, I was used to it. I played against the top guard, so he wasn't really nothing crazy. And they ended up getting out of there on us, but we made strides. And like that was the thing with us, we had talent too, but we just could never let it show because still at the time our culture was bad. So we make a run, but bad shot. Now we back down, whatever. So that was cool. But freshman year, we keep going through, and like I said, work culture is bad. The team chemistry is bad. So then we lose to the worst place team in the conference. And like I said, this is like embarrassing. Like. We don't want to be this because now we're looking like the worst team in conference types. So we get after the bus, and this literally, in my opinion, changed the entire trajectory of UNCG basketball's program, period. Looking at the camera when I said it, shout out to KL Locke. He was a senior on my team. He was probably my biggest brother at UNCG when I was my freshman year. He took me under his wing, me and James. And like to this day, I hold him in high regards. He brought everybody to the back of the bus. He's one of the captains. And he just like literally cussed every single person out one by one and said, look, I don't care what y'all got going on. I don't care what kind of stats you think you're going to make. I don't care if you think you're the best player. We're going to listen to what Coach West say. We're not going to bitch and complain. We're not going to argue with him. If he say run, you say how far. If he say jump, you say how high. If he say jump off that bridge, you better bring a parachute. Like that's the type of time he was on. He said, look, if you don't do it, hands with me. And I mind you, bro is 6'6", like 280, stocky, big as hell. Played pro for like 5 years, but one of the strongest motherfuckers I played with, bro. Like, you don't want no smoke with, bro, like at all. I don't. Like, I'm gonna let you know now. Then nobody did. Like, all the tough guys on the team were very quiet that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, bet, like, you know, I can rock with that. All right, like, and I'm gonna listen to Locke anyways because this is my OG. This is somebody that's teaching me off the court anyways. So I'm like, all right, next 7 games, last 7 games conference, we win all of them. Yeah. So now it's a bright spot. We win, and then we won our first game in the tournament, which they haven't won a game in the tournament in a while. So I'm like, okay, we might be, you know, all right. So going into sophomore year, it was a change, and it started from that. Yeah. Then the juniors that year who turned into seniors, they carried it over. Sophomore year was the first year.
They seen it materialize.
Right, like it was an instant shift because all it was just us not respecting Wes enough to let Wes blossom. Yeah, he was one of the best coaches ever, and his X's and O's worked. But we were so in our me ball and to like me that we didn't give it a chance. And we
didn't have anything to do with how young you was.
It was maybe.
Did he even see young together?
No. I mean, again, I can't speak for everybody else because I'm a yes sir, no sir type of dude. I've been that way my whole life. My parents instilled that in me. So, like, I'm going to treat you like that regardless. I done got caught telling you, like, yes sir, no sir, just off the repetition of it. So, it's like, it's hard for me to speak for others, but that could have been it. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, we just weren't really, like, respecting him. Our whole team wasn't. I'll say we as a team weren't respecting him. So, we finally did, and bro took it to the promised land. Like, it was what it was. Everything he said and to do worked. Everything he put in worked. Every drill he gave us worked. Like, everything. But we had to give him the chance to do that. And without KL shifting that culture at that moment, it was done. Like, we would have been done. I probably would have transferred. It was what it was. So we get to the end of freshman year, and I talked to James, and I'm like, all right, I'll wait on you. Like, I'll play 1 year with you. If this year go the same way it did last year, we'll both leave. And that way now, at least if we transfer, we can still stay together. Yeah. And it got crazy. Yeah. Sophomore year, it got wild. I was coming off the bench. I literally had a time, 17 minutes and 30 seconds, mind you. In college, you start 20 minutes. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds go by, and I walked to the table. Yeah. Like, that's how automatic it got that year. And it was, like, one of the funnest years because that was the first year that we got, like, exposure. Like, we got some ESPN games. You know what I'm saying? We had just signed an ESPN contract. That was our second year with our Nike deal. Coach West knows, like, the CEO at Nike right now. So he was giving us all this exclusive shit, like, cool shit. Like, I'm like, this is exactly why I chose you. I'm a Nike head all the way down. I don't wear no Adidas, none of that. So, you know, it was perfect for me, and like we started winning, bro. We started getting that winning culture, and me, I was like 6 man. I was having good games, but the biggest problem for me, my first 2 years, was inconsistency. Mm-hmm. In high school, I didn't really have no choice but to kind of do work because I had a lot of shots to take, and I was a very efficient scorer, but I did take a lot of shots. There were games where I'd go like 5 for 25 on a 15-point night. You know what I'm saying? My teammates mad at me, but they knew, like, that's the shots I deserved. I got those shots. Those shots were respected because of the work I put in. And a lot of times I make them. You know what I'm saying? So in college, you don't get that chance all the time. If you're not open a lot, it's hard to break offense and try to get your own. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting that one more pass, that unselfishness or whatever, you might not get a whole bunch of shots. And there were nights that, like, I just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But then there were nights that I would, and I'd go for 20. Like, it'd be what it is. So it was, sophomore year was up and down, but we finally got a taste of winning. We were hanging in with some high majors. We were able to really beat some really good mid majors, and that's when we started to develop our home court defense. Like, we didn't lose at home. That was like a staple now. Okay, we can't lose in the Coliseum. So fast forward, we go to the tournament. We play Citadel first. They like a run and gun team, beat them. Then we play, I want to say it might have been VMI or it might have been Wofford, whoever it was. We play whoever's next. Then we get to the championship, and we play ETSU this sophomore year. And it's a battle. I'm talking about, like, ETSU was a slugfest. Every time we played them, that was our rivals. And it was like, ETSU was like our, I hate to say it like this, but they was like our our hood rival. That it was like our black people rival. It's straight like ISOs, pick and roll, talk shit all game, dunk on your head, like athletic kids, like all old high major guards who done transferred down there. That's what that team was. And then Wofford was our other ones, and that's like your Uncle Tom classic backdoor, all white back cuts type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they were so disciplined that you had to respect them. They were tough, bro. So like you had to do it. So we played TSU. It's a slugfest. We get down to the end. Francis Alonzo, who was our starting two guard at the time, he's probably gonna get his jersey retired at UNCG. Scored over 1,000 points. He was my two guard for my all 4 years. He came in with me. Had a chance at a three to win the game. We was down by like one or so, or to tie the game. I think we was down 3. Rims out, and he's like knocked down 3-point shooter. He had a wide open look. We couldn't have asked for a better shot. Like we had the shot we wanted. We executed it perfectly. He was open and he missed it. Went in and out. So we're crushed. But at the same time, we're almost happy because we had no business being here. Like, no one picked us number one. No one thought we were going to be.
And is that the year y'all won the regular season?
Yes. That's the real year.
Homework.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Keith. Shout out to you. For sure. So we won the regular season that year. We got the number 1 seed. And so I'm glad you brought it up because that ties into the postseason. So after we lost the championship, we lost. So now we like, fuck. But in the SoCon specifically, I'm not sure how they do it for every other conference. If you win the regular season, you have an automatic bid to the NIT.
Oh, damn.
So my sophomore year, we went to the NIT. And that same year, it was when Jim Boeheim made those comments about Greensboro. Because, that's where they had the ACC tournament. Yeah. He said that basically Greensboro wasn't like, a big enough city. Like, why would we do it here? And he wanted to do it in New York. Yeah. Because Syracuse is New York type of thing. So it was like almost a play on home court. But people in Greensboro took offense. Because, Greensboro, I will say, they fight for their own. Like, they blue collar.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. So they mad. So we go to the NIT and remind you, bro, we just had a season where we won like 25 plus games. If you win 25 plus games in college, you are a top 50 team in college. Yeah. So we're top 50 in our minds and in statistics and all. Bro, they put us at a 9 seed. In the NIT projections and all, they do the same type of projections they do for NCAA. We're projected to be like 4, 5, 6 seed. Maximum at the 6. I didn't see anything under a 6 seed. Yeah. Bro, they put us at like 8 or 9, bro, to play against who? Syracuse. So we play Syracuse all off of the Jim Boeheim comments and to play on this beef. And I'm like, all right, come on, bro. Like,
they set it up.
Like, come on, bro. Give us a fair shot versus a team we supposed to be playing. Because, again, if we was the 5 or 6 seed, we would have played a team that was probably more evenly matched than us. And still, we about beat Syracuse at Syracuse. But this is how Syracuse did us. We go to Syracuse. First off, it's a snowstorm. It's snowing. So when I'm in New York, I'm not outside my hotel at all. Outside, it's straight snow coming down, whatever. So we do our practice the day before, and then it's game day. On game day, we drive over to the arena, and we do shoot around. Like I said, at like 12 o'clock. Then we get ready to play. But remind you, it's a whole process. You do shoot around, you do pregame meal, we have pregame walkthroughs. Then you have to come back, you have to get taped, you have to get ready for the game. So it's a whole mindset thing, too. Bro, why Syracuse canceled the game 2 hours before we supposed to play? They let us go to the gym and do shoot around and all of that before they canceled the game. And the reason why, through the grapevine, from what I heard, was because they fans was having trouble in the snow because it was a blizzard and they couldn't get to the game.
Come down south of Greensboro, you don't worry about that.
Supposed to play. So we pissed because had we known that, we would have practiced. We would have practiced again. We would have used this day on their floor to practice again. But we spent 2.5 hours doing a walkthrough, a shoot around, thinking that we're about to play. So we're pissed. Wes is pissed. Like, everyone's mad. The mojo's just off, and we were confident. Like, we're coming off a great year. We're ready to play, so we get to play them the next day. All their fans here, they done packed out the little dome or whatever, and we ended up playing, and we got them run for their money. I had a good game against them as well. We had a good overall team game, but we just ended up, coming up short versus them, so we lose first round in NIT, but good experience. I hated that we had to play it like that, because even if we would have played Syracuse, had we just played them the first day, I would have felt more better about it, but it's just like you had to drag it out and do all this other stuff to
that icing shit is real. Like, you ready, and then you get and then catch you slipping.
And it's just it's like the enthusiasm about it. Like, we were all ready to play, because and I ain't even gonna lie, when you get to that point in the season and you feel like you're at a certain level, you low key don't want to play in the NIT. Mm-hmm. Like, half of our team was like, I don't want to play. Because it's like, this ain't the NCAA, so it's meaningless. Yeah. But then there's the other half that's like, fuck it, we still alive. Like, we'll play and we'll just, and honestly, every year, if you pay attention to the other tournaments outside the NCAA, like the NIT, like the CBI that goes on, the teams that want to play are always the teams that make it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have to be the most talented, they don't have to be the best team, but the teams that actually want to still be playing at that time, even though it's not NCAA, those are the teams that want to win.
Yeah.
So because we were divided, I feel like that just added more people to be like, all right, F this. Like, we got to wait a whole other day just to see if we're going to, you know what I mean? So it kind of messed that up. So ended that, but it was good. That was second time, or one of the first times in a long time we went to the NIT, and I forgot this about the freshman year. Freshman year, we get invited to our first postseason tournament since 2001.
Yeah.
To the CBI. So that was a CBI. I would say that's right under the NIT. Then the next year we got to the NIT my sophomore year. So now, junior year. It's the summer before the junior year.
So at this point, it's crazy at this point. It's like y'all expect it to be good.
We were preseason number 1.
Yeah, y'all expect it to be good.
The coaches and media. We were we had it in our minds. We got robbed. We felt like we owed a lot to a lot of people. But this was the first year that I was taking over as PG.
Yeah.
And if you paid attention to UNCG during my time, or if you watch Coach West when he coaches, that PG is the most important position.
Mm-hmm.
Because Coach West was a guard. He was a smaller guard. So he understands what it takes.
With Carolina?
With Carolina, he's a national champion. Respect on his name. Rings, bigger rings. I'm talking about the NCAA. Yeah.
Oh, you want a ring?
Big ring. NCAA national champion. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Shout out to West.
Yeah, shout out my boy. So he is like basically prepping me like all summer long, mentally, physically. I had some off the court issues going. He had to dead it. Like he like, look, do you want this or do you want that? Like the social, the aspect of college, the BSing, like just kind of tricking off. I ain't gonna say what I was into, but I was dealing with some things that not a lot of other coaches would have put up with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't.
Especially that's whose trajectory is what his is. He trying to
right. He's trying to get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't even say he was trying to get out of there because he loved UNCG. He wasn't trying to get out of there, but he was trying to take the program to the next level.
Yeah.
So for him to have a PG who was a little iffy on something, he couldn't have.
Yeah.
So he's like on me all summer. Like, look, bro, if you taking this over, you got to be for real.
Yeah.
Like, and remind you, I don't know, whoever knew me like when I was younger, if y'all really got to know me, I'm very like goofy, like very immature. I was always like the immature, annoying, funny kid type of thing. Like
the underlying joke.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak that joke in there because I want a little trouble or something for sure. So it was always like, is he serious enough? Like, is he gonna take this enough? Because it was a full time thing. And the turning point I had, he gave me this Navy book. It's a book written by a Navy SEAL, and it talked about leadership. And it talked about basically, it was like a book full of stories about how he had to lead his platoon in Iraq. And he was saying how sometimes it would be the simplest communication that would pick a soldier up rather than like leading them down the wrong path. And he said as a leader, he made mistakes. And he was saying how one time, like he went and he brought his team into like a landmine or something like that. One of his people stepped on a mine or whatever. But his leadership was the way they got out of it because he was able to communicate it with like his tower or something like that. They free him from the mine without anybody having any casualties while taking enemy fire. And he was just talking about how the sacrifices he had to make as a leader not only defined himself, but defined his platoon, and they won the war.
Yeah.
So when I got that, and remind you, I didn't read. Like, I read in middle school, but like high school, I'm in the Word of God and all that. I wasn't really reading for fun anymore. Yeah. Like, so then when he asked me this, I'm kind of looking at him like, what you on? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a reader. Like, I'm thinking like, this is an assignment, but he's like, no, like, look, read. And it was though. He's like, look, read this book. When you're done reading, we're gonna have a conversation to make sure you read it and got what I was like, pretty much got what he was putting down. And we did that, had that, and like literally my entire mindset changed. Yeah. So from that point on, it was like, look, you one of the big dogs now. You gotta be ready. You gotta be prepared. You gotta do this. And we still had some seniors on the team. My two big boys were Marvin and Jordan. He was my small forward and my forward.
The big white dude, right?
Yeah.
Step out and shoot them.
Yep. And then it was me, Francis at my 2, Marvin at the 3, Jordan, and then James. And James was coming into his own after his sophomore year. After his freshman year. So now this is James sophomore, my junior. And I'm talking about we just took it by storm. Yeah. But like, it was on the strength. When we started off the season, me individually was just okay. Still kind of the same from last year, but our team was great. Yeah. Offensively, it's flowing. Because I was this. Like, I could pass like crazy. I'm top 5 in assists at the school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out here really just running offense, but I had Francis Alonso in my 2. Like,
going crazy.
He's putting up the buckets. Like, I didn't need to really do much. So there was a lot more focus on me just being a leader. And it took such an adjustment for me to really transform into that because I had to start thinking about everybody else. Yeah. Like, I had to start thinking about even guys that weren't playing, how to keep them involved in practice. Because the one thing I learned through those first few years is that it takes all 15 to 16 guys, however many kids you have on the team, it takes all of them. Because even if you don't play, if you don't go as hard as you can in practice to challenge me, I'm not going to be ready to play them. And we have scouts at UNCG. So if I play, let's say we play Carolina, right? And they ball screen all game. When we're practicing that week before Carolina, the other team, the scout team, they're going to do ball screens. They're going to run their exact plays. They're going to study what they do, and they're going to run it against us in practice. So if they have fast, what you think Joel Berry is going to do when he's out there? He's going to go full speed. So it doesn't work. So being able to see like, oh yeah, I got to worry about them too. I got to make sure they're into it. Because you're asking a 18 to 22-year-old to not start, to not play, but to go as hard as you possibly can in practice with no success or no accolades to it.
So while we at your junior year, and while we at the beginning, and while we at talking about the scout team, I gotta ask you one question in front of the camera. Did I or did I not tell you Isaiah Miller was league?
You did.
When Isaiah, you know Isaiah Miller is?
Yeah.
He arrived at UNCG. He was like this
for sure
freak athlete, defender type of. The moment he actually got, I think it was that next year, he actually got like.
Yeah, he redshirted his first year.
Oh, he redshirted his first year?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this was his I'm talking about his second year playing.
Yeah.
You remember his first year playing, he was more so like the
his first year was my junior year.
Okay, so his senior year
was my senior year.
When he actually was in the flow, I said, he's going to the league.
We'll get there too, because it sucks how Zay had to be, like, it sucks the way that it had to go senior year. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we was bound for more success.
Yeah.
You know, he ate off of his, but we all knew that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, we felt the same way. Everybody at UNCG, when we saw him come in, dog. Like, definition, pit bull, dog, whatever it means, dog, where you from, that's
with NBA bounce, though.
Like,
he could go baseline and he's better.
But see, his dog was more impressive. Like, I'll tell you that off any given conversation. What he would do on the defensive end, what he would do
it was nasty.
hustling, what he would do when you challenged him is what was most impressive. Rather, I mean, everybody can jump. You know what I'm saying? Quay Parker could jump. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing that growing up.
But like you said, he's gonna get a steal, and then he's gonna dunk it. He's gonna strap the best player, then he's gonna dunk it. He's not leaking out. He wants to take the ball from you.
He's an energizer bunny.
He's scary, bro. He's one of the guys that I got like 5 people in the world. I'm staying the hell with.
But see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean about being a leader, because that's who guards me every day.
Yeah.
And Wes is telling him, and I had another guard, Malik Massey, bro. I credit both of them to like all of my offensive success my junior and senior year, because those were the 2 toughest defenders I've ever played against. Yeah. Ever. Malik is like strong. He's like, when he put that hand on you, you're not going nowhere. Yeah. So like, if he can get a check, if he can put it there, I'm not going. He's not falling for none of this. I gotta find a way, gang. Like that shit, bro. I'm talking about like
the string. Come on,
not for sure. Like, yeah, bro. I need it. So like having to do that, and then Zay, probably one of the quickest guards I've ever played against. So he's with his hands with it. So I gotta take care of it.
You better not let it get loose, boy.
Absolutely, and best believe, like, bro, I'm ripped in practice, like the whole night. Like they're making me look like I shouldn't be starting sometimes. Like at times, certain practices, hell yeah. Like, I'm in there just turning it over, bro. Like, Wes looking like, hey, what we gonna do, man? Like, hey. So, you know, we get through the season, and it was a turning point. We played this team called Liberty. And we played at Liberty. We go into 3 overtimes. Francis Alonso single-handedly saved us out of the day. He scored like the last 8. Scored like 3 threes and a game winner to win the game. Craziest night I've ever seen. But I was real out of it. Like, not as far as like I didn't want to be there, but like I wasn't really hooping as successfully as I wanted offensively as I was in practices and in scrimmages and shit like that. So I was getting a little frustrated with my individual play. And after the season, coach told me like at that same time, they were thinking about sitting me. Like they were thinking about, all right, maybe we can start Isaiah or maybe we can start Malik, because Malik would do a good job off the bench. Like he would do good enough, and he was a defensive all-star. So if you're gonna play defense and be just good enough offense, cool. Like we'll deal with that.
Francis gonna score the points.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But when I was on offense, shit's clicking like that. And everyone knew it. You know what I'm saying? But I might have been a liability on defense if my head wanted it. Mm-hmm. So when I started to kind of go through that, I'm like, shit, like I gotta do something. Literally, bro. Next game, we start conference. First game had like 16 points, like 8, 9 assists, great defensive game. And like from that point on, it really like solidified like, yeah, this meat team. Like I'm gonna start, I'm the PG, I'm the guy, da-da-da. And we kept winning, and we just kept on winning, bro. We kept on winning. Had some really big games junior year. Had some really big games throughout conference. That's when I really started to kind of take a step, at least scoring the ball, that type of thing. Had some really big games versus our rivals. We beat ETSU at home. We beat Wofford at home, which we ain't beat in like wow.
Yeah.
You know, like the way that we were doing it. So just kind of continuing that success. And bro, towards the end of the year, it was just like a mentally different level that we were just on. Like, I didn't think that there was a team in the country, let alone in the SoCon, that could rock with us.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that there was nobody that we weren't ready for. So we get towards the end of the year, we ended up winning the regular season again. We had the best record. Then we number 1 seed in the tournament, and same exact route. We played Citadel first. We played Wofford next. Beat Wofford in a slugfest. I'm talking about like straight haymakers the whole game, bro. Because they got Fletcher McGee. He's the 3-man. He shoot these crazy threes, bro, coming off screens. Like, back will be turned to the basket. He'll just jump, shoot like this, turn midair, and cash out. Like 6'5", too. Yeah. And he can jump like on his shots. Yeah. So it's a hard contest. But shout out Marvin Smith. He did a great job on him. Marvin's also 6'5". He's in the G League right now with the Maine Celtics, I think. Richmond, yeah. Shout out to Richmond. He team loaded product also. Yeah. But he's another OG that really like guided me through as well. Especially throughout that junior year. He was one of our captains, so he led the charge for sure. I'll definitely say that. But played Wofford, slugfest, got by them. So now we got ETSU again. It's a rematch, championship game rematch. Now remind you, I scored the most on the team through this conference tournament. I made all conference tournament team. A lot of people said I should have been MVP. Francis got the MVP, but we played ETSU championship game, bro. I'm talking about from the start, we knew it was war. They trying to fight as soon as we get on the court. They getting chippy, bro. Bump Marvin as soon as he come on their team, you know, running the R. So we looking at it like, don't even say nothing. Like, we ain't even talk shit this game type of thing. Like, we didn't say nothing to them. We didn't say nothing to each other. We just stepped on their neck for 40 fucking minutes, ended up winning the championship by like 15, 16 points, bro. Like, I'm talking about, and you just see their team one by one, each player. My ankle, my knee, my leg, my arm, my heart. And I mean, literally, bro, from almost the whole starting five, bro.
Is that the team y'all played? Is one team I think y'all played in the SoCon championship, and one somebody on their team had like monkey ass balance.
Yep, that was them.
That was
them. He ended up being a Harlem Globetrotter.
Yeah. They played this dude. I don't
really remember. Crazy though. But again, that was like the hood talented team. They had all the stars, prospects. Yeah,
he got hurt because it was one that he just had
him. Bo Hodges, he was the freshman, and he won Freshman of the Year over Isaiah that year. So we was double pissed because they should have got that award. Won the freshman year, he done hobbled off with an ankle. Then they big, he hurts his ankle, comes back in the game, gets a steal, does a tomahawk dunk, and then hurts his ankle again after, like he's hurt type shit. And then the only player that I really believe got hurt was their best player, DeSante Bradford. And that's the only person I respect on that team, just because he was still there. Like, he's the only one, like, I don't know what they on. I'm getting mine. Like, I'm trying to lead the way. He was the only one trying to get his team together, like, trying to tough it out type shit. But I'm talking about we was done. Like, our mentality was so much different. So we knew we was winning. Like, I could have told you before we even got to Asheville to play that tournament, we was going to the championship. So we won. And that's what it was. And I mean, I say probably as a team, that was like my happiest moment that I ever had. That night in the SoCon, bro, we played at 7 o'clock. We probably didn't leave the gym till maybe like 11 o'clock.
Damn.
We out there on the floor for like 2 hours after the game. Confetti falling down. My whole family, my mama, my daddy, my nana, my daddy T, my girl B was there. Like, everybody's deep. My aunt Denise is there at the time. They all got shirts made and the whole nine, bro. Yeah. We get big old flags, NCAA flags. We got to cut the net down, bro. Like, I'm talking about, bro, it was just so surreal. The pictures I got are super HD. Like, it's so crazy, bro. We was just turned. They playing music. So look, we do all of that. We do all of this. We taking pictures. I'm holding trophies. They call out the all tournament teams and MVP. I get my award. Francis get ours. So we go stand with the rest of the kids. We take our pictures and whatnot. We had 2 big awards. And then I want to say James won Defensive Player of the Year that year as well. So he got his award. So now we all, doing our thing.
Right, because junior year, senior year was sophomore year, junior year for him. Yep. And then he would have been 3 times
in junior, but he got robbed senior year.
No.
Or
I got it.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I mean, he got robbed by his own teammate almost. But
he got robbed.
I mean, it's 2 different types of defense.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was probably
Dwight Howard and like Pat. It could go either way.
Yeah, but a better Marcus Smart. Yeah, Marcus Smart. Let's say that Marcus Smart. It's like but Zay better than Marcus Smart too. I don't know. Regardless,
Isaiah Miller plays real defense. Yeah. Not all that other, like, he played.
He had Pat Beverly though.
Pat Bev don't play.
No, I'm just saying because he it's like it's not just about what Isaiah Miller can do. It's his attitude. It's his. Like,
I mean, bro just did the little stuff. Like a lot of guys who is that athletic will just like leak. They'll try to rip you, that type of thing. But he'll take a charge. Like he'll put his body on the ball. He'll stay in front. Like he's not going to just.
You don't think that's Marcus Smart?
No, I'm saying. I do think so.
I just think he's better than Marcus Smart.
He also comes with all the stuff that Pat Bev comes with, as far as like nigga, he goes. Like he just
that
he gonna scream at you
he does have
and yell at you and like he's for real with it.
But
like
again, that's what I mean. He a dog.
Yeah, he's a
that dog is gonna come out also.
He's the dog. He's
with the
to
confidence type of thing. So,
to me he's I don't know.
He's
bro.
like that. We gonna praise that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
So he wins. So
he
he does take that
picture.
picture. No, I don't think he's better than Francis.
You don't think so?
To be honest, I think that.
I think Francis' offensively is. No,
I just put it like, well, I can't even really, I can't take it away from Zay because he got the ring on his own. So it's like, I don't know.
And
they want to
being a defensive guard, he still scored a bunch of points too.
But see, that's the thing, bro. A lot of people don't understand. Zay he's not a defensive guard, bro. He's a bucket. Like
he's a two-time defensive player. I'm saying like
one time. Because that's what I was telling you. James won my sophomore year. Then he won again his junior year. James a two-time defensive player of the year. Then Zay won.
Two-time player of the year, one time.
He was a player of the year twice.
Two-time, okay. Yeah.
But you feel me? Zay was really just like the man. I feel like as far as shaping that culture there, if there's no Francis, Zay doesn't have this.
I'm not debating that. I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
Careers.
I mean, you can argue that. We'll see.
No, it's not close.
Nah, it is.
What accolades did Francis got at UNCG?
He's like the #1 scorer in history.
No, I'll give him that. No, that's facts.
He's top 10 assists. I want to say he's top 10 steals, but he might not be. And I mean, he won MVP of the tournament twice, but he never got a player of the year.
But Zay got a conference player of the year. He got a conference player of the year. He got a defensive player of the year. He's all conference.
I mean, if you go by accolades, then yeah. Just by playing with them,
off the strip, if he was not at UNCG, if he was at one level higher, or he was 4 inches taller, bro, he would have got literally drafted.
But
if he was Francis height, he would have got drafted.
Okay, and here's the thing. I can say the same thing about Francis.
I agree.
Because Francis had workouts. Francis could have did it, but Francis has been in the Euro Cup ever since.
No, I agree.
By choice, you feel me? Like Fran the man over there in Spain, so it's a lot different when you look at it.
I agree. He was
on
different.
On that global scale. Because Fran knew what it was. Like, bro, his dad would come, he was flying from Spain, bro, and like sit with us for weeks at a time to like watch our practice. And like I knew then, like his agents there. Like, you know, I already know it. They playing different than what everybody else is. He already knew what it was, and he followed that stuff. So shout out to both of them. I just say that they both equally as good to me, and they both doing their thing. Zay in the G League and Francis in the Euro Cup.
They tearing it up.
Those are literally the 2 top leagues under the NBA. So top players for sure. But
you got to play with both of them. Not only did you get to play with both of them, you got to like really be in the trenches with both of them. Like, bro, that's gotta be like, if you ever like put the call in one summer and like put together like a summer league, you can put together. He could go, and we're not gonna act like James is not around there in that question.
James is also in the Euro Cup now, so I mean,
if you went Zay, Francis, and James.
I wouldn't even put me in my 5 now. I would just coach him. I'd throw foreigns in instead of me.
I'm talking about if you was doing like a UNCG team.
Oh, even if I did UNCG, I'd bring Zay back. I'd bring Caleb back. I'd bring probably.
Oh, I played against Caleb this last summer.
Yeah,
I played against him this last summer.
He's overseas right now too, doing his thing from what I heard. So shout out to bro. That's my little bro.
That's a lefty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played
love
against him last summer.
He's so bouncy, bro. Oh, he's so bouncy. I feel like with the G, he. Not to say he ain't never really find his niche, but like, I feel like his role was a little. I wish he could play with me. Put it like that. He only got to play with me 1 year.
He ran into the fire. Y'all was such a winning team. He waited his turn though. He ended up. Sometimes he waits his turn.
He did. He did.
But
I feel like I could have turned him up way early. But again, I was a different PG than who he played with. I was a pass first kind of PG to lead the team, but that's just because that was like the recipe to win. Like that's just what they needed. So. We did it, but yeah, that was that. That was junior year. You feel me?
We go to Gonzaga. We know the story. Y'all go to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I want to go into those last few minutes of the Gonzaga game before we get through the senior year. Because I got some this and that. I gotta talk about that whole experience. I'll speed it up after this. The whole NCAA experience, bro, was like surreal. I'll never forget every step. I'm talking about from the time we fly in
As soon as we get off the plane, somebody UNCG basketball. We think I ain't never had that before. You know, you see all Johnson Valley vacation, they got the name on it. Talking about we get on a little Sprinter bus, we go to the hotel full of UNCG, like fucking posters and like paraphernalia, all in this hotel in Boise, Idaho. I'm looking like, how y'all get this?
Yeah,
like,
how y'all even know who we are?
We don't even got shit at the local Greensboro Walmart, let alone y'all got shit all the way out of Idaho. So like, bro, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. They had all kind of stuff. The ladies wearing like UNCG hats and stuff, working at the desk. They're like, let's go UNCG basketball. They clapping for us on the way in. Fans lined up to like send us off.
Some rock star shit,
bro. Like, and I'm like, yeah, like, and being a main part of that. They know me, like they're like, let's go Demetrius, like let's go meet. Everybody call me meet, like hey, let's go meet. We got this, like all old alumni. They love me. I'm hugging people, kissing babies, like you know what I mean, bro. So
meet for president,
bro. We get off the plane. So before you do anything on NCAA, you have practice and you got media day. So you have a practice that is televised and it's like open to the public. So anybody can walk in. It's free. People can just walk in. I'm talking about we have a practice and it's like almost packed type of thing.
Are y'all really practicing or y'all just kind of...
So this is the thing, and this shows you why we were who we were. Every team, when they go in there, usually do like some like chill, shooting workouts, something like that. We have a full live 40-minute practice, bro.
I don't care who's watching.
Like Western Night.
I don't care who's watching.
And the craziest thing is, we like kind of questioning what we're doing with it, because we never been here. Like, we don't know. There's no senior or nothing to know. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go hard, we're gonna go soft. And we're seeing, like, we watched the team in front of us practice. I want to say Ohio State was practicing in front of us. So we like, okay, feel me? It might be light today. Wes like, all right, we're on the line, First thing, Shell. I'm like, oh, what you mean, Shell? Like, bro, we close practice with Shell, let alone in front of all these people. Yeah. And I mean, bro, full speed from the rip, and like literally like 3 or 4 coaches and commentators came up to Wes after. Like, I've never seen a team practice that hard at an NCAA practice, like ever. And bro, we was so ready to go. Yeah. Gang, like I'm talking about, like I didn't care how hard we practiced. I was ready that next day. So, anyways, after practice get over, you clean up, whatever. Then they got a 30-minute period where media comes in. Yeah. So whoever want to interview you, they come in, everybody's sitting down in the locker room, and they just literally walk up to you to see it. It's honestly like the coolest, but also kind of like fucked up thing to do, because like 1 or 2 people might be getting all the interviews. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got the whole team just looking at you, hoping to get some, whatever. And like, I got some interviews, but then like Francis got some, Isaiah got some, James got a few, Marvin got a few. So it was pretty well-rounded for us because we were a mid-major, but outside of that, about starting 6, like, nobody else really got much, so I felt kind of bad, like trying to answer on behalf of them, and like it also taught me media training. Like I had to be able to work and have this interview right here while James sitting right there interviewing with John Berry, and they talking about whatever they talking about. You know what I mean? And not getting off topic and answering correctly. And at that time, it's real like, yes sir, no sir. I got to make sure I don't say anything, can't cuss. Like I got to make sure I'm grammatically correct. Like I got to make sure everything's perfect for this, because this going on the newspaper. This going somewhere back home. And bro, I'm talking about, they had ESPN reporters in there. They had local Greensboro reporters in there. Like whoever media wanted to come. So we do that. Then when you get done with that, they give you your gift. And bro, we got a big basket. Each of us like this, an Axe basket. It had like deodorant, sprays, lotions, all kind of things. Like just a big old Axe basket that everybody got to take home. And as you go throughout the tournament, your gifts get bigger and better. Yeah. So you make it to the Final Four, you get an iPad, like bread, like all kind of things. And we got per diem. That's what you call it, per diem at the time. Now I don't know what they're doing now because of the NILs and all that. But so we would get like, I think we got maybe like $200 per diem type of thing for the couple days we were there. So like this is like free money to us. Like I'm going home with this. Like I ain't spending it on nothing. You know what I mean? So the more, if we would have kept winning, the more and more stuff we would have got. And I'm pretty sure the next one they got watches and all kind of stuff. So, and we also got a watch. We got a watch for being there. So that was in the box as well.
I heard about those.
Yeah, my NCAA. It's like March Madness on the frame, and it's silver all the way around. It's smooth. But we got those, whatever. So now all the hype is like out. We done did that. Oh, and then let me backtrack a little bit more. Before we go, we have the Selection Sunday. Yeah. So we're in our EUC, which is like this auditorium on campus, and we're sitting up front with all our fans behind us, and we're watching this big screen of who we gonna play, like where we get picked. Now the whole time on the mock NCAA stuff, we're set to go to Cali. Yeah. We supposed to be in Santa Barbara, California. We supposed to be playing. I want to say it was like either Illinois. It was who to trade on Oklahoma, which we was I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say like Kansas or something like that at the time. Out west, and then next thing you know, they put us in Idaho. So we're like, we kind of hot. Like, we low key mad. Like, bro, we don't want to be in Idaho, bro. Like Boise, Idaho. Like I never compared to California. Like, come on, bro. So then we see who we playing though. We like, oh, they sweet. Like it's
up.
It's
more
like
of an even match.
Yeah, so I'm like, compared to the mock drafts, like, yeah, I'm definitely hyped about this because they had a point guard, Josh Prentice or whatever, and he played in the G League or whatever, but he won't trade up. You know what I mean? Like, I knew no matter how good I was, no matter how much dog or how tough I was, Trae Young's winning that matchup. Like, he's a pro, he's an all-star. You know what I'm saying?
He's 30 and 10 all-star.
Right, like, it is what it is in that aspect, but when we played Gonzaga and we saw that, we like, okay, all they got is Hachimura. And they got Rui Hachimura, just got traded to the Lakers. That was their best player. So we go through the scout report. They don't talk to him in English. It's all Japanese. You ain't even know. Bro from Japan. He's like full Japanese.
I know that.
Like he didn't, bro, the players, coaches, all that, no English. Straight like, Josh is like, box 2, like saying whatever it is, like just translated like that, and they picked it up just like that. It was like the craziest thing I've seen, but he was literally like the whole scouting report. They put everything on him, and it was James' matchup. Rui Hachimura probably had like 8. Like, got him up out of there for real. But
James had a great first half in that game too.
Oh, it was killing. Bro. Like kept us in it. Like without James, we wouldn't have been able to take
this shit.
Bro.
Look at James. I was in the crib tweaking. I'll never forget that time ever.
Bro. So we get through. First half is like kind of shaky. Like I had 2 first half. Francis had 2 first half. Me and Francis ended with 16 apiece. With James having a 14 piece and like 10 on top of that. But that first half, without James' run, like they would have continued to blow us out. Like they would have stretched it, and they would have got away from us a little bit. But we kept it close. Second half, we cut it, and then we were tied. We were ready to go. We were right there, type of thing. But that scout report, bro, I had never seen our coaches like our coaches are respectful to players. Like they'll give you your credit when credit's due, but they ain't jocking no superstar. Like we not about to come W like you Kobe and things like that. But they're treating him like he's like, and I'm like, bro, we never heard of him. We didn't see him on no draft boards, and then all of a sudden got picked. And I'm like, okay. So I see what y'all mean, but still, like, we didn't see it at the time. But remind you, they also had Jonathan Williams. He played for the Lakers for a stint. They had the kid Ryan Tilley, the tall white 7-footer. That was like his freshman year at the time. They had the kid Charles Norvell, who hit the game winner on us, the freshman lefty. He was there for Zach Norvell, excuse me. Then they had the point guard, Prentice, and then they had the 2-man who just got drafted by the Wizards. The white kid, the shooter. Dang, what's his name?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Bro, he just got drafted by Washington, bro. But anyway, he stayed longer, and he was like a sophomore at the time. But he was there too, and they was really good. They were really tough, but once again, that was just another one of them games where I felt like the best players, they played. And I showed up when we played the best talent, best team, and I feel like we gave enough to win that game, bro. And it came down to some last-minute play calling. I ain't gonna say West didn't call the right thing, but I'm gonna say
he said that though.
If he
literally said that.
I feel like if he would have went back in the direct, I'll just be straightforward with it, bro. I feel like if I would have took the shot, we would have won the game. The way we had it designed, we had 2 plays for last-second threes. One where I come down, I cross the court, I dribble handoff to Fran, I rub screen his defender, he just shoots it. Fran comes off the little handoff and he tray ball. If not, there's a post screen coming from James to get him in the pick and roll shortly after. But a lot of the times, I'm driving it so hard, that pitch is going to be open. He's going to have at least a little bit of space, and for Fran, that's all they need. So that was like 3 to the side. Then we have 3 down, which is for me, where we act like we're doing that, but instead of Fran coming for the handoff, he like dives underneath. So now I come off, and I have all of this other space. And when you do that, the guard who's guarding me gets confused because he doesn't know if it's a screen coming or if they're passing it off. They don't know if they're switching or whatever. So I would have been able to come off and have daylight. Now, granted, on their side, their scouting report probably would have been Francis Alonso. So when he called it, West first said 3 down for me to come off the screen. Because remind you, I had a great second half too. I'm hitting jumpers, I'm scoring, I'm getting to the cup. Like, I'm hooping. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take a shot to hold on. I'm like, I'm about to win this game. We about to go play Ohio State and whoop them too. Bro, come off. I'm ready to call it. Right before we leave the timeout, he switches right back to France play. So I'm like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying? I trust you because that's what he told me before the season. Like, I would have to give up my own to watch the team succeed. But because they were scouting Francis, they knew that was coming. And
it probably was like
the way
anybody would beat us but him too.
Right. And the way that it would have developed, if I would have just kept it, even with the play, had I just kept it myself, took one more dribble, I would have been wide open, I would have cashed out. And I would have hit the 3, we would have won the game, whatever, But instead, their man jumps the play instead of Fran getting off the handoff, so Fran ends up running into him, pushing, charge, going the other way. And that was when we were tied. They come down, we end up fouling, they shoot 2 free throws, they end up winning by 4 points because that gets up out of there. But literally, it was like, we hit that shot and make one stop, we win again. type of thing. And we ended up not even getting a shot at the basket. And that's the shit that kind of made me mad the worst because, like, I am the point guard. Like, it's my job to get us a good shot. So the fact that we went 10 seconds into our play without even getting it up to the rim is like, it sucks because who's to know Fran with a shot missed, James gonna be about to kick to somebody else or get the lay. Like it just could have been a lot different had we got a shot.
Yeah.
But the fact that we couldn't and we were hooping enough to get that shot, like it really.
That upset would have been crazy. I was looking at the TV like, because at first I was just hyped because y'all there, you hooping, James hooping. I'm like, yo, this can't be real, bro. There's no way James going crazy in the first half. Yeah, B goes crazy. It's like, yo, what?
But we not even looking at it like that because we didn't feel lucky to be there. We knew we were supposed to be there. Like that's the only thing that
y'all supposed to feel like that. I'm at the crib, like bro. I'm getting about to start texting people like, yo, sending them pictures of us like, yo, that's my boy for real. Yo, like this, bro. That shit was crazy. I'll never forget how that felt. I'm like, yo, these niggas is wildin', bro.
Yeah, we was angry, bro.
These niggas is wildin'.
I'll say that was one of the first times that like all humbleness like went out the window. Like nobody on the team felt like we were lucky to be there. Like nobody felt like, this was love.
But y'all wasn't lucky to be there though.
Right, like to us.
I'm looking at it as lucky to be there.
If you didn't follow our season though, and you just say like, that's just a mid-major being there. Like and even looking back on it, like now, we were lucky to be there. Of course. I know 100 people that we grew up with that went to college, went and didn't make the tournament ever. Yeah. You know,
y'all were lucky for the opportunity. Y'all weren't lucky to be there. Y'all worked to be there.
But that's the same, more so the same thing for me. Like we didn't feel like we were lucky for this opportunity. Yeah. We felt like we knew from the start of that season we was gonna get.
Well, no, I don't think UNCG was lucky to be there. I think people I grew up with, from where I'm from, to be on that stage, and then to be hooping.
Looking back on it now, yes, you're absolutely right. We were honored. It was an honor to be able to play there because I only got to play once.
Yeah.
And that was like the worst part about it because I just knew, being that I won my junior year, I just knew I was gonna repeat.
It never happens like that when you think.
I just knew I was gonna repeat, and then we go have the best. Bro, I broke the record 3 years in a row as far as best record in our history. Mm-hmm. Like sophomore year we broke it, then my junior year we broke it, and then my senior year we broke junior years. But we ended up losing just the worst possible game in senior year. But that junior year, bro, that tournament, I'm talking about like, bro, we come in like no games, no plan, no happiness, no thankfulness. We come in like meaning business, like nobody's playing.
Trying to get to the second round.
Bro, the team we would have played was Ohio State. No disrespect to them, but we would have waxed. Like they were playing St. Bonaventure's. They had the kid Mike Dam, who is one of the top scorers in the league, not in the league, but in the country at the time. But he was it on that team. Like there was no other kid on that team that I could have saw play any professional level. Yeah. But him, and they had trouble with him. Like they barely got out around them. I'm like, okay, y'all having problems with them. Y'all definitely not beating us, type of thing. Then they ended up playing. They played them, and then they played another mid-major. Oh no, they played Gonzaga. They lost to Gonzaga, type of thing. And then Gonzaga ended up getting to like the Final Four that year or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, looking back on it, it's cool because like the team we lost to got to the Final Four. You can say that or whatever, but it's just like the team that got to the Final Four is a team that we should have beat. So that just shows you how we could have, got there. And that Ohio State matchup was it, bro. Like they just weren't ready, bro. I promise you. We watched them play right before we played. Like they weren't ready, bro. So then we deal with that. That's the end of our season. It sucks, but that experience, that opportunity was really life changing. It was cool. We got so much love, like coming home from people around Greensboro, people around North Carolina, like. Just so much real, genuineness towards us. It was good to see, for sure.
See, your senior year was like a blur to me because it's like, y'all was it's almost like, how you get so high in the build up, then you kind of get so high early, and it's like, it's kind of like expected.
It was
then you run into,
Yeah, I think senior year, even to me, it feels like a blur sometimes. And even sometimes I try to forget for real, just because I feel like, not to say I regret any points in my career, but I feel like not to say I let down, but we kind of got let down.
I think the problem was, to be honest,
year.
I think y'all problem was that Isaiah Miller became kind of like he became almost like the focal point of the team almost. That's what it seemed like.
I see what you did there though, and I can agree that his role got tremendously bigger, for sure, as it should have. Our problem was we couldn't guard at the 3 spot. We had the best defense in the league for my junior and sophomore year. Yeah. I mean, for my sophomore and junior year, but my senior year, we were not the #1 defense. And there's a stat, and this is how analytical Coach West is. From the point that I was in school, the last 10 years to that point, the team that won the Southern Conference Tournament Championship every year was the #1 rated defense at the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
Every single year except for one. And that one year was an upset by Western Carolina. And literally one of my coaches, Tom Tank, who went to Middle Creek also, all his little brothers went there too, shot a game winner. He went to Western Carolina, shot a game winner and beat Chattanooga, who was the #1 defense at that time. Other than that, it was always the #1 defense. So my senior year, that 3 spot killed us. Every single time. We beat everyone in the league. And it was one team that we could not beat, and it was Wofford. And the reason why is because through my sophomore and junior year, we beat Wofford 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And before that, they beat us like 6, 7 times in a row. They were killing. They were winning the conference before that.
Yeah.
And Wofford had enough, bro. Like, they had enough of that. And they was like, all right, F that. Every time we played, and I mean, literally, every time they played us, bro, it was like they Super Bowl. Like,
let me just say how I feel. This is how I feel. I feel like y'all had the perfect recipe your junior year, right? And like I said, shout out to Isaiah Miller. I think you may be the best player to ever go to UNCG. So I'm a huge fan.
For sure.
Huge fan. But I just feel like y'all dynamic was perfect to win. And it changed a little bit too drastically.
I'm going to tell you why I want them. Because, so look, when you go my junior year, we had me at the 1, Francis at the 2, Marvin at the 3, who's 6'5", can shoot it, can guard. He's athletic. When he graduates, we had another 3 who was supposed to step in. Off the court issues dwindled that. I ain't gonna speak on his personal situation because that's my boy and I love him to death.
Mm-hmm.
His off the court issues caused him to be dismissed from our team.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of felt like a backstab at the time. It felt like a betrayal.
Oh, Sykes?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
sure.
it really hurt us because like that's my road dog. Like we done been through a lot together and we needed him on that team. Our starters my senior year was me at the 1, Francis at the 2, and Isaiah at the 3.
That's what I'm saying.
That is not a recipe when we play the top teams in our conference.
That's what you said.
I know that. But listen, I'm trying to tell you why it didn't work.
Okay.
Because when you have Isaiah at the 3, as good as he is on defense, it's a mismatch.
Can't guard.
When we play Furman, when we play ETSU, and when we play Wofford, they have 3s that are 6'5" and up. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, we can get away with that when we play Citadel and Sanford and VMI, all these little teams. Yeah, we'll get away with it. We'll be fine. And we did. We beat everyone in the conference. The only team that we lost to outside of Wofford every time was Furman once. We beat everyone else and had the best record in school history. Yeah. But when it came down to those big games that mattered, which was all 3 of those games we played Wofford, when they had Fletcher McGee, who was player of the year that year, they killed us at that 3 spot.
Yeah, I think so. That's exactly what I was saying.
That was the only thing that we could do. James and them had it down low. Me and Fran and Isaiah had it out on the perimeter. But when it came that time for playing Wofford, and it's also, again, like you said, matchups, bro. Wofford does a whole bunch of down screens. So Fletcher will come off different screens all across the court, and he will catch and shoot. He doesn't come down like this. He's not like me or Francis where he does this off the dribble. He's catching and shooting. If he doesn't, he's hitting you back like a Klay Thompson, dead ass. But it's like instead of Klay shooting regular, he's jumping as high as he possibly can at 6'5", and he's shooting over people. And that is a good shot for Wofford basketball. That's not a bad shot, even with hands in his face. And he was the top 3-point shooter in the league. So he's a force, bro. And that was the only thing that we couldn't do because Isaiah will trail him off the screen. He'll be there. He'll be connected every step of the way, and he will get a contest. All of us would do it. We all had our hand at trying to guard him. But this ain't gonna work. You have to be able to have a hand on the ball. Yeah. You have to have a hand like towards the basketball. You have to really be able to alter the shot. If you don't, this little hand isn't gonna work. And we were just too small, 1 through 3, to be able to do that on the big teams. You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, what you said about it for every other team, you're absolutely right. It worked. Zay was perfect. He got his. Everybody else, he was good. Yeah. Literally, versus every other team, we had no problems. We had everyone else figured out. Wofford was the only team we couldn't figure out. And unfortunately, bro, my senior year, at home, beat us by 30. At day place, beat us by 30. And remind you, we didn't lose at home, bro. That was like one of like 2 or 3 losses at home. Yeah. ETSU, waxing. Beat them at day place by like 15. Furman, waxing. Lost at day place on some bonehead stuff from one of our old centers when James was hurt. And that pissed me off too. And that also played a big part in our season too. James got hurt my senior year for an extended amount of time.
That's a year kind of almost don't even count.
So, but remind you, we still winning. Like we still getting it done. We getting the job done. Luckily, we didn't play no super duper big dogs during his stretch that he was out, except for that one game versus Furman or whatever that we lost. But other than that, bro, we beat everyone else in the Southern, bro. We still like top team in the regular season. Like we're still battling for number 1. We don't get it. Wofford does. So now we have a different little road to the championship, but we still get there, and we beat ETSU again to get there. And ETSU is like our rivals as well. So, bro, we still waxing them, like, doing, bro, we beat them by like 15 to get to the championship, bro. And we get there, and we made some more adjustments. We amped up practice. We did everything we could, but we still lost by 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that sucked. So,
well, as a regular basketball fan, it was a huge success. I'm saying for sure that's what happens when you peak, like you, because we looking at it like, oh, SoCon, we gotta see if we can get Gonzaga. You know, you look at half, you like, cool, cool.
Bro, we won't though, like that's
no. Somebody as a basketball fan that's watching.
Facts. Because I mean, with us, we was locked in on the fact that it takes every team, every step. Like one of the big mottos on Coach West's team was like no finish lines. So like. Just because we beat them tonight don't mean we accomplished anything. We got to keep going. There ain't no finish lines. We can't never stop.
And then a logical mind might say, okay, Meek's coming back, Francis is coming back, James is coming back,
right?
Isaiah's
coming
junior
back. Year, yeah. But senior year was over. But
the key pieces you're talking about that you're not thinking about, but it makes a big difference.
Exactly, and that's the thing that I was saying with like earlier with just baggage off the court. Like you got to eliminate all of that stuff. And because Coach West was able to work with me. Like, I had to eliminate my baggage from sophomore year and all of that to be able to do what I needed to do junior year. Yeah. And I had the best years junior and senior year in every category because of the sacrifices I made. We just wanted those same sacrifices from some of our guys. And it was, like I said, I hate to say it like that, but it's just a couple key guys that really let us down in that regard that were all we needed. And we had every piece in place.
I think
even with Marvin and them leaving, even with Jordan leaving, like we had every piece in place to continue that back-to-back. And even after we left, Zay and them were, because they won the next year. Like they were poised to say, like West would have won 3, 4, 5 years in a row, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Sure, but that happened or whatever. We lose to Wofford. So that's the end of, senior year there. We're pissed about it. But NIT comes again, and we got picked number 1 overall seed in the NIT, which was cool, and it pissed us off because we were on pretty much like 90% of all of the NCAA mock boards.
That's the year West said, I said this a long time ago, that's the year he said he felt like y'all should have still been able to go, right?
Yes, we were in the runnings to get an at-large bid. Yeah. And that would have been one of the most monumental things to happen to any mid-major program. Let alone just UNCG. Any mid-major program, a lot of high-major programs will be honored to get an at-large. Like, that means you really had to have a good season, and we deserved it. And when they did the show, we were literally the very first team out of the tournament. There's 66 teams in the tournament, or 65 teams in the tournament, excuse me. We were number 66, literally. And it was, you can blame whoever you want. That week, we were blaming the other teams. Like, for example, that year, Gonzaga folded and lost in their conference championship. So now St. Mary's got a bid, but because Gonzaga is Gonzaga, they got an at-large as well. So just more teams that weren't supposed to be there got added into the tournament, making less room for us because they had an automatic bid. They won the championship. Yeah. So now it's less at-larges to give, so we were just literally one team out. Had one game went a different way because it was a few teams. Right. It was a few teams that were supposed to win their conference championship. They got upset on some weird shit. Now they got to go to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I think UNCG, y'all, and that four, and that's that was a legendary 3 to 4 year run y'all had. I think UNCG, y'all didn't give enough credit to yourselves and West. UNCG got a lot bigger and better than the actual pond that y'all was in. Sure. It's almost like how you was just saying, like, it almost made me think that SoCon was a bigger level than it actually was. Yeah. It's almost like y'all are.
It's just educating. It's educating all the fans because the SoCon is a high level of basketball. Yeah. We're rated the number 9 conference in all of college basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know because it's mid-major. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, how long it was ranked number 9
when I was there? I don't know where they are now, but when I was there, we were the number 9 conference outside of it was like ACC, Big 10, Big 12, whatever, and then down the line as we go, it's us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show there's good hoops, everywhere. But not everyone has the marketing or the TV contracts of a Duke or a Carolina. Mm-hmm. So to be able to shed light on our school, but also, like you said, our conference, and even the other teams, like as much as I hate Furman, Wofford, ETSU, they did good enough to shed light on our conference as well. Right. Wofford beat Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Furman beat Villanova. ETSU almost beat Tennessee. Like, all of us were going toe-to-toe with these high. We beat NC State. Like, we all had these high major wins. Like, that's why we all respected each other so much. That's why our games were so good, so intense. But also why we knew we was ready for these teams outside of this conference because of the level we have to play against. I'm playing against high major teams in a mid-major uniform. You know what I mean? All of those guys from ETSU are guys who transferred from high majors. All of these guys from Wofford are kids who literally, after the Wofford coach went to Virginia Tech, transferred to Virginia Tech, and they won the ACC the next year.
Yeah.
Like, these are all literally high major guys we're playing. The proof is in the pudding, and we are dominating that. So to be able to, you feel me, see that and shed light on that was, awesome for sure. But got through senior year. Instead of going to the tournament, we got number 1 seed in NIT, which, again, record in the school history. UNCG ain't never been a number 1 seed in nothing. So number 1 seed in the NIT, which was great. I got another watch there. We played our first game versus Campbell, actually. Played Jordan. Chris Clements, he was there. Beat them. Beat the hell out of them, for real.
They was pretty trash. They were pretty trash during their stint, to my opinion.
But Jordan's years, his last 2 years, they really picked it up. They got to the championship one of those years and lost to DJ Burns, who's now at State.
I think it was the level that Campbell was at, because Jordan is. Yeah, I think the level that Campbell is too low of a level to have an NBA player on it. It doesn't work.
Well,
I think
Chris molded himself into an NBA player. Chris obviously wasn't always an NBA player because he's my height. Like, he was never supposed to go. I mean, shit, let's be real. He wasn't supposed to go to Campbell, but he went to Millbrook, under recruited. You know what I'm saying? Smaller kid. But when he was there and he started having them games, it turned to the Chris Clemens show. Not like Campbell basketball and he's our best player. It turned to Chris Clemens. And I would go watch them play to support Jordan. Yeah. And I'm literally telling Jordan, like, bro, when you get in the game and you're playing, because after a while he was starting with Chris, like, bro, shoot like he do. Like, don't let him take all the shots. Like, do what he does and you might do the same thing. And because he was so good and he got so much better than what he was when he came in, he got his shots in the league and everything.
Like, if they didn't play like UNCG, y'all have a best player or 3 best players, but y'all not the show.
Right. We had to sacrifice, but it was times like I would just go and like Chris would just put up his numbers and they'd be okay with it. Like, but they would just lose every game.
Only person I've ever seen do that at that level.
Be what it was.
Let's go back. It's Trey Jefferson. Shout out to Trey Jefferson. I've never seen a player.
But even then, bro, don't win. Like,
he did win. He won the conference 2 years.
Well, with Tech, but Texas Southern, their conference trash. But
it's still.
I get that.
So to win,
college, for sure.
To win, and they went to the NCAA tournament. Wax Central, and looked like they were legit, like,
For sure, I'll give them that respect. For sure. I thought you were talking about like in high school because you ain't.
Oh hell no! Fuck, don't talk about that, man.
You feel me? Right, in college, so that's what it was. But anyways, back to NCG, did NIT, we beat Campbell, then we played Vermont actually, and it got tricky because we played Vermont. If we would have beat Vermont, we would have played State, and we would have hosted them at Greensboro, because we were the number 1 seed. So every game we would have played was in Greensboro. And Vermont got on us, bro. Like, they were tough. And they wanted it more than we did. Like, they wanted to be there. They wanted to play. And we were so pissed off about not being in the tournament. Because, I mean, literally, like, we're going from, like, everyone saying, oh, yeah, this article said y'all are in, to y'all are the first team out. Y'all should have been there, but you ain't, type of thing. So now we're like, bro, what are we even here for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up losing to Vermont, and that really concluded my UNCG career. I went down top 5 assists, top 5 in steals. I got the most winningest record.
1,000 points.
Yeah.
Demetrius Troy.
I'm like 50 points away. I'm at like 953, so I'm like
That's
40.
Crazy.
I'm like 47 points away. I'm a 40 ball away from 1,000. But I won't really tripping on that because I came away with 2 rings. I came away with an NCAA appearance. I came away with 2 NIT appearances, a CBI tournament appearance. I was all tournament team my junior year. Could in the runnings for MVP of the tournament that year as well. And the one thing I will say also, as I got older through UNCG, my stats increased and my role always increased. Yeah. So I was making positive strides, not only as a hooper, but like as a man. And that's the thing I credit Coach West for the most is like when I was done, and unfortunately after college, we'll talk about that to finish off, I was ready to be a man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was ready for what was next, even though that wasn't basketball. And as much as it hurt, as much as it was a change from what my original plan was, West got me ready. The rest of my coaching staff got me ready. So all of that played a part. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated it. And shit, I mean, that career alone right there is better than a lot of the people.
The winningest player
like,
from Raleigh for sure.
So
You're the winningest player. I will.
We'll have to fact check it, but we'll see.
We talk about this all the time.
I'll go back to it though. From word of God, we still got the best record there.
Championship at word of God.
I gotta say championship word of God.
Even if you take, because if we talk about records, it's not even close. But if we take the records out, because that would blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
You won a state championship at word of God. I guess we can't count senior year, which you was a state championship caliber team senior year too. But
we won them Myrtle Beach National Jones.
Win all them, and then you got 2 rings at UNCG. I won the regular season twice, and the tournament once. In my opinion, is you, Devontae Graham, Julius Barnes. Those are the winningest players. Winning. We're talking about winning, guys.
Ju got 2 rings.
He got one at Garner in public school in 4A, and then he got one at Winston-Salem State and the CIAA.
Okay.
So
and then
DT got
one with he got a national championship with Kansas.
No, he got no national.
I thought he won.
He got Final Four. Dave just did this 2 days ago at Southeast. I swear to God. We did this. We had this same exact conversation about the winningest players. He did the same thing. He never won a national. Do y'all not realize it's NBA championship, right? Right under that, it's a national championship. Do you know if DT Graham was to finish that job off that year, would there be a mural? Come on, bro. What year did he win? He didn't win.
He was All-America's first team, Conference Player of the Year.
I think they won the Big 12 twice.
Yeah, he won a few times. Kansas was winning like every year.
He won Big 12. He won Big 12.
DT, as far as individual honors, he's definitely better than
No. Hold on. Time out. Winningest player is you, DT, Ju. Now, individual careers, to me, stats is individual careers is John Wall, Devontae Graham. We're talking about college career. We're talking about college career. Is Chris Clemens, John Wall, Chris Clemens that one, because Chris Clemens scored a lot of fucking points, like 3,000.
It's just hard, bro. It's hard to say though, bro, because I'm thinking about it like this, like he's scoring those points at Campbell in the Big South, and John is scoring what he's scoring in the SEC.
That's what I said, John Wall first.
It's a whole different.
Let me replace that before I put myself up, because this is gonna give me a lot of trouble. What I'm about to say. This is what I'm saying. It's John Wall, Devontae Graham, because he won and he was so Chris Clemens.
Okay.
Say it.
Roger Ray. I got to. I can go down the line and say it. Individual, he scored 2,000 points. He's number 1 in points and assists at his school. He had a 45-point triple-double. Yeah. Like, insane. Like, it's insane. The numbers are insane.
I watched bro go crazy. Because Bleach went to Winston. And so I would pull up to Winston and watch them play, and bro was always going crazy. I mean, we've been through that. You know what I'm saying? But
individually. Even though I'm not really, everybody see this stuff but I keep it 1,000, you feel me? So, but so this first part, before we get into this last part, I want to ask you, like, are you genuinely happy?
Am I happy?
Yeah,
for sure. Hell yeah.
Did you go through like the post basketball blues?
Hell yeah, too, for sure. I had to earn this happiness with myself almost. Cause that's what I was gonna say to the end. I got hurt. That's why I stopped hooping. I was set to play. I had a couple pending offers in France and in Spain at the time. I had an agent. Shout out to Bob. He was cool. Had teams lined up for me and everything, and some really solid leagues for sure. Like what I did at UNCG definitely got noticed enough to have me a career. You know what I'm saying? And I go to Wilmington. I'm training down there with the boys, with Jalen Forens and them. James, down there at the time because that's where Forens was in school at. And I'm grinding. Like, I'm ready to go. My entire dream was coming true. My entire, situation was changing. I was really ready to go. Like, it was what it was. And I fractured my left foot. So I chipped the bone on this side. I tore every single ligament on this side.
That happened to me
it was pretty much this chip was inches away from a break. Yeah. So you might as well say I broke my shit. But I didn't break it fully, so I didn't have to have surgery. So I asked my agent, I'm like, all right, look, how much time I got? You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing yet to the teams about me being hurt. Just how much time would I have realistically if I was telling them? He said, look, bro, maybe 2 months. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So I asked my trainer at UNCG, mind you, I done subleased an apartment in Greensboro. I'm still staying there, training there every day, and I'm working with the athletic training staff there. He like, look, bro, I'll try my best to have you in 2 months. Like, I think I can do it. And that was not the timetable type of thing. That timetable was like maybe 4 to 5, and I probably should have got surgery type of thing, but didn't do it. I tried to rehab it back, and pretty much my window just closed. Like, it just closed. That 2 months went by. Those teams were uninterested anymore. So then I was faced with a decision. My agent was like, look, you can train all year and stay in shape. I'll get you something for next year or throughout the season. If some of these teams lose a guard, something like that, when you get healed again, we'll try to start from there. But a lot of times for guards especially, people ain't doing that. Like, a lot of times they'll do it for bigs before they do a guard. They have somebody come mid-season because the guards are always a little bit more important. So I'm like, can I wait a whole year with no bread, no income, no nothing, and just think I'm gonna be like, on that? And I just couldn't, because I needed to train in Greensboro. That's where I had the training for. I had free training. But the only place I could stay for free was in Raleigh. So then I'm like, okay, I can come to Raleigh and try to train or whatever, but I want a whole bunch of trainers here. I didn't have the ends at Word of God as much anymore because, everybody had left type of thing. So I was just kind of like, shit, like I really just gotta hang it up. Like, it really wasn't much I could do. And like, I was in a boot that whole summer, bro. And like, shout out to McKeel. Shout out to my girl B. And really, I'm going to really leave it at that to helping me get out of that depression. That entire summer, I probably stayed with Kill like every weekend, maybe. Like, and I'm talking about like on some real, like, I'm going to put our business out there, on some grimy, sleeping in the same bed. Like, I had nowhere to go. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to be there. I'm with bruh every single day. Like, annoying too. I know he was annoyed by having me there. I'm stepping all in his life, like the whole 9, but I'm in the boot. My whole life just shifted. My whole career just shifted. So I'm depressed as hell and I didn't even know it. Like, I'm just blowing my way through it, like thinking I'm, good. And I was really messed up. And at the time, it sucked even more because me and B was broken up. We broke up shortly after my graduation because we didn't necessarily see eye to eye on my career and how I was going to work going forward. So her coming back, like sticking through that, like basically supporting me through that, bro, like really got me out of that. And then in conclusion, shout out to UNCG. I go back to them for help. They offered me a job right then and there. So they gave me a job in the admissions office or whatever. I was a regional recruiter in Raleigh, and that's what started like my corporate life or whatever. And I'm so thankful for that because I took that year to get schooled in this game. So now I make the type of money I make because I've been able to level up. I went to Denver and got right for real. So now, like, I know how I work. Like, I know how to maneuver. I know how to code switch into these meetings and into these salary discussions and into these different networking things that you need to have if you want to make it in corporate America. But I would have never got that if I would have, just stayed here in Raleigh or never tried to reach out for help at UNCG and things like that. So I just credit them with so much in my life. And looking back on it, to even like some of my teammates in college, like looking at like the type of jobs they have, the type of money they got coming in, the type of like just the way they living, like I'm doing very well. You know what I'm saying? For where I was mentally after getting hurt and not being able to play. And I mean, now, both y'all know I have a son. So like that's the biggest blessing that I've ever had. Like
it's not close.
That's my blood, my right hand man. Like that's the one thing I can say forever. Like he gonna represent me and I can represent him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, eternally happy for that now. And like, I have a whole different kind of mindset of like what makes me happy, what, challenges me now. And it's a lot of definitely battles that I had to go through after not playing again because that was my whole life. I've been playing since I was 4 years old. I was always known for a basketball player. I was never good at anything else. I can't play the instruments. I can't draw. I can't sing. I can't dance. Like, I'm not artistic. I don't do anything. It was literally me is a hooper. Like that's what everyone in the city knew me for. That's what everybody who's ever met me has known me for. Meet the basketball player. So to not be that anymore, it was almost like finding myself. But thankfully, my family, my friends, my brothers. I'm an only child, so having the type of support that I have and not having family, like not people not being family, but supporting me the way that they have, especially after I've had my son, like unmatched. It just lets me know like I did it right. I was a real nigga throughout the whole process. I was real enough to have these people still rock with me after moving, after leaving, after going through college, after doing that, just because I made these genuine bonds. So like, am I happy? For sure. Especially being back home and seeing this love. Like even where I go now, like I ain't no celebrity in no aspect, and I ain't never acted like it or whatever. But like my girl, like, you know, she from Durham, and like I'd be in Durham and running the people that know me, like type of thing. And it's like just cool to see that like people ain't forget. You know what I'm saying? Because I almost forgot. Like I'll sometimes forget. Like the people. Dang, I was at a pretty high level at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a little buzzed for a second. Like it was fun. Like it was the best thing I could have, you know, really asked for. And I just thank God for all the decisions I made, the decisions my pops made. And it's funny you was talking about how you watched our games, because literally the other week, I'm with Jordan, I'm with McKill, I'm with Maurice Wilcox. We sit up to like 2, 3 in the morning watching all those games. We found them all on YouTube type of thing. Kill FaceTime me the other day. We sat and watched like an hour and a half game versus Mount Zion, like little trash game. Felipe done threw Ira to the ground. We got scrapping in there the whole nine, like, and just like seeing that like real shit, I'm like almost to tears. Like I'm almost dead ass like crying on FaceTime with Kill. Like, bro, this was like glorious, bro. Like I could do nothing but cheese. I could do nothing but just laugh and like just reminisce on those times. But the fact that like I have proof of all the things that I've done has been like something that's kind of cool. Bro. Yeah, like can't nobody take what I did away. More so. So like we can sit here and shoot the shit about who the best, who this, who that. But I just know for me, like I could give a fuck who list I'm on, as long as I know I did the best I could and my name's set in stone in a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, next thing, like what am I gonna be known for next? And like for me, at least at this point, I don't really want to be known for anything other than my son. That's you know what I'm saying? Bro. And any of my future kids. So now it's like my whole life I live for him now. Like that's fire. I did everything I wanted to do, at least like it's athletically. Now I got a whole new mindset of what I want to do, like for my family and financially. But like it's coming in, like for sure. It's like so I'm just the type of conversations I'm having, the type of deals and things that I can look forward to in my future is like now what I can look forward to. But it's just on like a scale of I'm trying to get as rich as I possibly can. I'm trying to enhance my salary as much as I can so I can give him the best opportunity to be as good as he want to be in whatever he want to do. Because B play the guitar, she can draw, she can sing. He might embark on that. He might be an artist, he might rap, he might sing, he might, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna put no labels on him. He can do whatever the hell he want to do. You know what I'm saying? He can have me, but best believe if he decides to step in my steps, then yeah, we'll have a problem. We'll have a problem coming out for sure. And like that's kind of like I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also like just trying to be a good dad. I'm just looking forward to anything he do, so I can be either his #1 fan or his #1 supporter and coach. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at now.
That's good, bro. That's fire. I fuck with that, bro.